Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to cover um, two things, two a session together because they are interrelated. So first is Express.js. Here we will discuss about configuring routes regarding Express.js and working with Express. Okay, and after that, we are going to cover another session, which is serving static resources using Express.js.
Abhishek, in between there is one topic called the process events. Is that covered in the last syllabus itself? Or after events, there is a process event. One more.
Uh, your voice is very low, so I'm not getting. Uh,
Okay. Is it audible now?
just a second. I'm increasing my volume here from here also, so that I'm able to listen it properly. Okay, go
Okay.
on.
Yeah. Is it audible now?
Yes.
Okay. And after events topic, there is something called process events. Is that covered along with the events or? And
Yes.
okay.
Okay. Yes. That was covered inside the event only. Um,
Okay.
Right, we have covered event emitter and returning event. Everything related to event we have covered in session 9 only, right?
Okay.
So, so working with Express, let us see. Okay, so Express.js is a framework to build web services, right? Um, You can also make a server using Express.js. So it has all the necessary things that is required to build a server, a Node.js server, right? So if you want to build your web services based on REST framework, you can do that. We will cover it in the further session, how we can do that. So first of all, Express.js. So it is fast, unopinionated, minimalist web framework for Node.js, right? Now we can install this Express.js framework using npm Node Package Manager. How we can do that? Um, Using the following statement. Now we have used minus minus save here or a double hyphen save here because it will register the entry this dependency entry in your package.json. You can even avoid that, but in that case you need to manually do this, or when you start your project, and if you are installing, you don't know how many dependencies will be required in your project when you start your project. So what is the best way to add on dependency? Whenever you add on any dependency in your Node.js application, then use minus minus save or minus minus save dev. If you will use save, then it will save in the dependency. Otherwise, it will save into dev dependency. Based on your requirement, save the dependency accordingly. If you want to have the dependency installed in the production version, while using the production version, if any dependency is required, then use it minus minus save. And if you want your application to get that dependency while development, then you can use minus minus save dev. So similarly, right now, Express.js is required to run our application, right? So that means it is even required while uh, development as well as while production. So even if you will release your production version of the server, you will require the Express.js. So we will use minus minus save, so that whenever the project gets downloaded from anywhere, if the developer will do if the person will do npm install, then all along with all the other dependencies, express.js will also get installed automatically, right? So we will use minus minus save here. Otherwise, the other way to installing Express.js is to use global keyword, which is minus G. So if you will do minus G, then it will get installed in the global node modules, so that it can be accessible inside any node module, right? So here we will here we are going to take it for one particular project. So we are using minus minus save for the production version, right? So it will install Express.js along with all the dependencies that Express.js will require. Right? We have already shown that in the previous sessions. So let's proceed. Now, what is the feature of Express.js related to web applications? Express is a minimal and flexible Node.js web application framework that provides a robust set of features for web and mobile applications. So you can use it for web applications as well, or for your mobile applications. Now, APIs. With a myriad of HTTP utility methods and middleware at your disposal, creating a robust API is quick and easy. And performance. Express provides a thin layer of fundamental web application features without obscuring Node.js features that you know and love. And frameworks. Uh, Many popular frameworks are based on Express. So you will find out that many frameworks have been developed on top of Express.js, and they are providing various other utilities or features that people can use. But the base is Express.js. And why this is so popular? Because Express.js was built uh, when uh, when Node.js was recently uh, launched or released, right? So that means during the initial releases of Node.js, Express.js was built, and from there on, it gets evolved, right? So because it came to the market first, so that's why it is so much popular, and people are using this Express.js as a base. And nowadays, they don't make difference in Express.js or Node built-in modules. So that is the power of Express.js, because it is so popular that people think that it is a part of Node.js built-in modules, but it is not. Now, if you want to study about what is this Express.js, so go ahead, and since it is an open source application, so you can take a look at its code. Even you can make the server like Express.js, but um, it is like, why to redevelop a wheel if it is already made and it is working properly? So just make use of it and finish your project as quickly as possible, right? But for those who want to study or who want to learn how a popular framework like Express.js was built using internal node modules, built-in modules, so you can study that. Now, um, installing Express.js. So we have already installed the Express.js using npm install express, right? Now, assuming you have already installed Node.js, and create a directory to hold your application and make that your working directory, right? So before installing the Express.js, what steps you need to follow is this: create a directory using make dir command, make directory command. So we have used my app folder. Uh, First created it, that then get inside that folder cd my app. That means we have got inside the folder. Then use npm init command to create package.json file for your application. Remember, if you try to install npm modules using npm install express or any module, and in the empty folder, that means or if the folder doesn't have the package.json, then probably or most probably it will get failed, right? So let us see what happens if we try to do the same in our folder. All right, let us see our console. Okay. Dot, 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 dot. This is right now this is a empty folder. So what we will do, we will try to create we will try to install Express.js, right? So I'll do npm install express, right? So it will try to install it, but at certain point it will return an error. Let us see what it does. So first of all, it will create a session, npm session. Now it will load all the dependency, remove obsolete dependency, resolve with node modules. So basically what it is doing, it is trying to install all the dependencies, but see, we got the error. So basically it has downloaded all the content or initial content in the cache, node module or node.js cache. But after some time, when it recognized that no package.json is present, see what is the error. Error code is eno end right? And a description is no such file or directory open. That means here, see, it is referring to my global user path. This is my user. Uh, in the Linux, this portion is user account, right? So what it is looking, I have not defined package.json. So what a node does, it mm, whenever inside a folder, if you try to install something, it will look at the package.json in that particular folder, right? But if it doesn't find there, then it will go one level up. It will find again package.json. If it doesn't find there, then it will again go one level up. Then again go one level up until it finds the package.json, right? But there is a limit. It cannot go to the root. On Linux. On Linux, it cannot go to the root because above this user account, you need to use sudo, right? So I have not used sudo, so that means it cannot go above that. So it has the access to go until that user account, root of that user account. So root of that user account is this user and username, right? So there it tries to find package.json, but from the folder where it started till the root of the user account, it doesn't find any package.json. So that's why it was not able to find out where to install Node.js, Node module, because wherever you will put package.json, Node will consider that this is the main directory where it has to install the Node modules, right? So it doesn't find any place to install Node modules, so it will return an error telling that package.json is not present. So no such file or directory to open package.json, right? Um, so basically permission denied, right? Now what I will do, let us do npm init, right? So when I will do npm init, so regular command package.json, okay, I'll since in the bracket, whatever is written in the bracket here, like package.json dump, so this would be the package name. So if I will press enter, that default name would be taken as the name of the package or name of the version. If I'll again press enter, it will take 1.0.0 as the name of the version, um, which is the default string. If we don't want to put our default string, so we can enter our custom string, but right now I'm not going to put any string here. So I'll just press it, enter. Yes, okay. So as you can see here, it has made the package like this: name, dump, version 0, right? Script test, echo, no test is specified, author blank, license ISC, right? So it will make this package.json. Now if I'll do this, you see package.json is present. Now if I'll again use this particular command, it will install the express. But before installing the express, I also want it to save the dependency in the package.json as well, right? So now it will install the all the node module here. So you see now it is not returning any error and it is proceeding further. So it returned plus express.js. That means plus means added express 4.17.1. And along with this, it has also added 50 other packages from 37 contributors and audited 126 packages in 10.32 seconds, right? Found zero vulnerabilities. So no error. It has installed 50 packages along with Express.js that we can see. Let us see. Now you can see here node modules, package lock JSON, and package.json. Package lock will list down all the node modules that is installed along with Express.js, right? So that we can see here. Uh, dump inside the dump node modules. So right, these are the node modules that has been installed. Now if I want to see it all, then I can open package.json. Now you can see all the packages along with its path and integrity key, that is SHA code, um, which is an encrypted um, hash that is used to check the integrity of the compressed file, TZZ file. That means all the parts of that module has been correctly downloaded or not, right? So you see here so many packages, almost 50 packages are there, right? So we will now proceed further, right? So like that, it has installed Express.js. Now this command this command prompts you for a number of things such as name, version, your application. We have already gone through that. For now, you can simply hit return. We already did that. Now you saw that uh, here we have used on at this step. This is the default string that we are talking about. If we hit enter, then default string would be index.js, and like that main, when it actually made the package.json, it uses index.js, and similarly for name and version also, right? Now dependencies, okay, you can install, we already covered that, install express with save option. Right. Now, there is another option, right? Suppose you don't want, um, suppose you don't want to install the Express in your dependency. I mean, you don't want to register your this particular module in your dependency. Then you can also point that out using no save key, right? As we see here. So that means I'm installing this module temporarily for some testing or something, but do not include this in my this in my package.json. So this is the meaning of no save, right? Also, this is important. By default, with version npm 5.0 and above, npm install adds the module to the dependency list in the package.json file. This is by default. With earlier versions of npm, you must specify the minus minus save option explicitly. Then afterwards, running npm install in app directory will automatically install modules in the dependencies list. So basically, if you're using npm version above 5.0, so you don't need to use minus minus save. Node will automatically do that for you. But if you don't want to, if you don't want that particular module to to get registered in your dependency list inside the package.json, then you should use explicitly no save if you're using npm version above this, right? Now working with Express. Uh, okay, so now we are going to take a simplest Express app that you can create. And it is a single file app, not what you would get if you use Express Generator. We will talk about that Express Generator later, which creates the scaffolding for a full app with numerous JavaScript files like J templates and subdirectories for various purposes, right? So now this is our app. This is the minimalistic Express.js app based web service, right? So what it does, it um, it imports the Express module in the Express constant. Then it has created the app that calls Express function, and it creates a port as a constant 3000, right? So app dot get. So let's begin with the whenever you try to read Express.js based Express.js based code, then try to read it from below after the constant has defined. So um, let us take at the last line. Last line specifies that app.listen. So basically it is listening the port. Port is a constant that we have defined. That means it is listening to 3000 port. And there it has also defined a callback function as a lambda function. Example app listening on port. So as soon as this particular listener gets started, this line gets printed on the console. So by this, you would be able to know that your app, your server Express app has been started. Now let us go in a reverse direction, from down to up. Sorry. Now app.get. In the app.get, uh, I have just put slash. So slash means root. That means homepage or launchpad, launching page, right? So as soon as you will use localhost 3000, you will get hello world. Now let us take this example in our dump folder. New file, new file name test dot, or let us say my app.js, right? Now dump folder has my app.js, right? So now what I will do, I will run this app. Node my app.js. See, as soon as it started, it returned example app listening on port number 3000, right? Now with another terminal, okay, now I have opened another terminal. From here, curl, I will call this localhost 3000. You see, it returned hello world. Now to make it more clear, let us put here a new line character, right? So it will make it more clear. Now again, I'll call. Yes, this is more clear. So as you can see here, as soon as this 3000 line appear, that means our server started running. And when I used curl localhost 3000, it returned me the hello world. Now you see, I have just used the domain name. That means localhost 3000. So actually, what does that mean? It means, if I'll expand it, it means something like this, right? So this particular command, uh, uses the URL with slash, right? So last line is slash. So this means this root. So that means slash means home page of that URL. Home page, you can say home page or launching page, or I mean a root page. You can call it with any name. So I have closed my server. If I'll again do this, it returned failed to connect to localhost 3000 because I have closed my server. So at this particular path, now it doesn't find anything, so connection refused, right? So now this app starts a server and listens on port 3000 for connection. The app responds with hello world for request to the root URL or root, right? For every other path, it will respond with 404 not found. Let us see that also. Let us restart our server. Okay, server is started. Now I will call. Okay, at the root path, it is returning something. But if I'll do something like this, then it returned error. What error? It returned cannot get ABC path, right? So, and now if I'll do something like this, cannot get abc dot png, right? So basically, it is returning a template that you can see here. Let us show it on the browser as well, so that uh, you can see what is happening. So localhost 3000. Okay, spelling mistake. 3000, 3000. It returned hello world, right? Now, if I have used ABC, then it returned cannot get ABC, right? Um, if I'm using PNG, abc.png, that means I'm trying to get a file. It returned cannot get ABC. With curl, we can get the uh, source code, I mean view source of that page, and on the browser we get the rendered view of the same HTML. So here we are getting it as an HTML format. Here we are getting it like a rendered view. So basically it all means 404 not found, because when some request came to the express, it returned, it tries to find that root. So basically if I was doing something like this, so I'm trying to access another root apart from what I have defined, um, which is this um, /. So / means homepage, and but I am trying to access another root which is /abc, which is apart from this homepage. But I have not defined anything in this particular Express app, so it returned 404. So Express analyzed that and returned a template that that clarifies, I mean that responded with the actual error, which is cannot get ABC. Here get is the method we are trying to use. It is like get post, like that. So since I am trying to access it via URL, so via URL is considered as a get. So um, it returned cannot get ABC path, right? Now running locally. First, create a directory named myapp, change to it, and run npm init. Then install Express as a dependency as per the installation guide. We already did that. Then in my app directory, create a file named app.js, copy in code from above example. We did that. Okay, now this is the important line. The request and response are the exact same objects that Node provides. So you can invoke request.pipe or request.on data callback and anything else you would do without Express involved. So here you can see request and response, right? And with these two arguments, you can manipulate this argument as you want, as your application requires, right? So you can use pipe on top of request, or on data listener you can use. It depends. Now we have already tried to run this node myapp.js on 3000 port. We can see the output. So this section is finished. Now configuring routes. So basic routing. So routing refers to determining how an application responds to a client request and to a particular endpoint, which is a URI or path, and a specific HTTP request get method, get post, and so on. And each route can have one or more handler functions which are executed when the route is mashed, right? What is route? That slash thing that we have used in the in our example here. This is actually a route, right? So we will see how to define those routes. Now, root definition takes the following structure: app.method. So if you're using like here, we have used app.get. So get is the method. We can also use put, post, delete, anything, right? Whatever the standard method are, we can use it here. The app.method, then we are going to specify path. Path is slash or whatever path you or slash abc or whatever path you can specify. So basically this is the this is the syntax. Then after that we are going to have the handler, right? So app is an instance of express. Method is an http request method in lowercase. That is important. In lowercase, method is defined in lowercase here. Then path is the path on the server, which is a relative path, and handler is the function executed when the route is mashed. Now you see this is the basic get request, which is slash. Slash means homepage or root. Now whenever request come to this route, it will respond with hello world. So res means response and send. So basically it is pointing out that whenever it request came at this particular route, then it should respond with hello world, right? Which is on home page. Now another thing is post. So respond with post request. So here we have used at the home page only, we have used post post method, and the path is at the root, and we are responding with got a post request. Similarly, with the put request, we can use app.put, and we can specify slash user. So with that you can use you can put the statement like got a put request at slash user, right? Similarly, respond to delete request to user root, right? So that means app.delete slash user. So now you can also process this request as a delete terminology. So basically what these things mean: uh, get, post, put, delete. These are the four method that is those are the standard method in REST framework, right? Using these standard method, we can specify, we can do um, any kind of updation on the services. So basically, when we are doing get, then we are trying to access data from the server. When we are doing post, then we are actually inserting data to the service, or instead of service, let us consider it like service is a mediator, and whatever it get, it it runs an equivalent command, so that a database associated with that service gets affected, right? So suppose I have put a function um, or processing line that whenever something is get, or get method is used, then uh, then do the select a star thing. I mean, fetch data from the server. Get means fetch data from server based on the parameter, right? Uh, um, Fetch data from the database, and um, transfer it via server to the client. So basically, uh, whenever we do get, that means we are trying to get data from the database. Whenever we are doing post, then we are inserting data into the database. Whenever we are doing put, then basically we are updating that data in the database. And if we are doing delete, then we are deleting that particular data from that database. So with this analogy, you can see that there are four types of things that we can do with the database, and with these four types of method, we can do those insert, delete, update, or fetch. Four types of task we can do in the database using the service. This is a typical example you can consider. So uh, you can map it like get, post, put, delete, fetch, insert, update, delete in the database, right? Now routing. For routing, let us go to the routing guide that Express provides. Okay, so routing refers to how an application endpoints respond to the client request, right? So let us take this example, Express, this particular example. This is the same example that we have used, app.get. It is at the root, and it returned hello world, right? Then get post, we have already discussed this. Yes, this is something different. There is a special routing method, app.all, used to load middleware functions at a path for all HTTP request methods. For example, the following handler is executed for request to route secret, um, with whether using get, post, put, delete, or any other HTTP request. So basically, if you don't want to specify all those get, post, put, delete method separately, then you can use app.all method. So any request will come to that particular route. This method gets executed, no matter if it is get, post, put, or delete, or any other method, right? Now, how we can specify the routing path. So this is important. The characters that we can use. Um, this is question mark, plus, star, and uh, bracket. are subsets of the regular expression counterpart. So we can use these regular expression. So basically, at this point, we can use regular expression, right, to specify the path. Now, this is a typical example of home page. Here we have a path about. So that means if somebody tries to access the about, let us see this. If we can make something like this in our app. I have used this. Now let us take about. Now I will respond with about the app, right? I will respond with this. Let us play with run our app. Okay, now this will return hello world because I have accessed home page. Now I will do about. So this returns about the app, right? So that means I have specified a path, right? Now what else I can do? I can also define a file name as well. So basically here they have used random.txt and they are returning random.txt mm, as a string. But suppose I'm trying to access something like uh, logo.png. It is similar to this, but it return cannot get logo.png. Why? Because I have not specified this path, this particular route in my app. I have not specified logo.png. But suppose I can do that. I can specify that path uh, right here, like logo.png, and um, it should return right now. I can put it like a string logo.png, but I can also specify here um, a process to fetch a local file from my repository and return that particular file as a response, right? So in that case, if somebody tries to access this local.png, it should get the actual file. We will study that later when we will study about the static web server thing, which is our next session. So we can also do something like that also, right? Now let us proceed. Now here is a typical example of a regular expression. So basically here what they have used AB question mark CD. So question mark means um, uh, or none um, uh, or none or something like that will be considered as B question mark because a question mark has been put just after B. So that means either B could be present or could not be present. So it will mean it will be equivalent to root uh, slash ACD or slash ABCD. Because of the question mark, um, both kind of path, um, if user will request for any of these kind of path, the request will come to this particular method because the root path matches with this particular regular expression. Similarly, we can use plus symbol. Now plus symbol means Plus means one or many. In the regular expression, it means one or many. Like question marks means um, is present or not, or exist or not. Similarly, plus means one or many. So at least one B should be present. So ABCD path would be considered, then ABBCD or ABBB CD, or any number of B could be considered, because plus means many, and many is many do not have any limit here. So that means any number of B can be considered. Now let us try this example. So I will use AB question mark CD. All right. So ABCD method called. Now let us rerun the server. Now I am calling ABCD. It returned correct. Now AACD. It returned correct. Right. So I'm closing the server. Now I am again. Let us change the example as plus. So what does this mean? Let us run the server again. Now I will check ABCD. It returned ABCD is called. Now I have omitted B, ACD. It returned error. Right? Now ABBCD. It returned correct. Now ABBB. It returned correct. So that means you saw that with these regular expression we can make any kind of a string, so that path could be matched. Now another thing is a star. Star means it will return the result ABCD, ABXCD, or AB random CD. So that means after B we can have any string here, right? But it should end with CD. So basically, star means any random string inserted in between, and that random string um, should be zero or something. Star means zero or something. So here, this means either we can have nothing in between or we can have something in between. So all will mean the same thing. So let us close our server, um, change our pattern. I have replaced star with plus, or I have removed plus and added star. Now let us run our server again. Now this is, let us check ABCD. It returned something. I have omitted CD. No, I have omitted B. So it returned error, right? Now I have omitted CD. It returned error. Now I am inserting something 1, 2, 3 in between, then ending my string with CD. It returned something. Now with PQR, it returned something. I can QWERTY. So basically, you see that star was replaced with any string, but it should be prefixed and suffixed with AB and CD. So it returned the relevant expression ABCD, right? Now a complex case. Here Here we have used bracket cd. So and after that bracket, I have used question mark. So that means either either the string defined inside the bracket could be present or could not be present. It doesn't matter. So it is similar to the AB um, uh, AB question mark thing, but since this is a more than one character, so we have grouped together inside the bracket, right? So let us take this example as also question mark then E, A, B, C, D, E. I'm running the server again. Now A, B, C, D, E. It returns something. Now without CD, it returns something. So basically, if you want to use group of characters, um, whether it should exist or not, then you can use this kind of regular expression. Uh, you can group together the string of characters inside bracket. Then you can put question mark, or you can play around with star or plus as well. Now, this root will match anything with an A in it, right? So here we have used this particular string. So let us check this out. A is present. Running the server again. Now let us check ABCD. It returned error, right? Let us play with this. A is present. Is present. It returned error. So now again 1, 2, 3. It returned error. So basically that means a path should have a root path will match anything with an a in it. So basically this path should have a. Now let us check another thing here, like xyz a p q r. It returned error. So basically it checks for only a path, right? Because it has returned only I mean it was successful. This particular URL was successful with only /a, right? We have tried many type of permutation combination on the string, but nothing was successful. So basically if we have used this kind of a string, it is successful on this with this particular URL only. Now let us proceed with another thing. Okay, this particular path will check fly. So basically, whatever the string would be, it should end with fly. And before that, dot star. So dot means any character, dot means any. So any character, star means zero or many. So we can define any character in but it should end with fly. Here we have defined dollar. So dollar means end of the string. So any string should end with fly. It should be considered. Let us take this example. Dot star fly dollar. Right. So I will say fly is present. Now let us run our server. Now let us check. First, I will check butterfly as the example provided. It returned error. It returned error. Something wrong. Okay. Okay. Here I'm doing something wrong.
Abhishek, did you restart the server?
Yes. Uh,
Oh,
I have restarted the server, but see where I'm doing the mistake. I'm trying to specify the regular expression, right? But I'm specifying inside the string. So because I have specified inside the string, so that means it was considering the path as this. Um, it would be looking for path something like this only. This also not. Yes, this was the regular expression. Inside the string was not matched. Now I have removed the quotation mark from here. So let us restart the server now and let us check again our example. Yes, slash should not be there at the end. If I'm using slash, so that means the path is a directory name. But if I'm using without slash, that means that end of that particular string. So since this is a regular expression, I have not specified any slash. Slash here means in JavaScript, a regular expression start with slash and end with slash. And it should start with caret and end with dollar sign. So here slash doesn't mean end of the string. So we should not put slash here because it is not specified. It is this particular slash is part of regular expression syntax, right? So now this is I was doing mistake earlier because I was putting this regular expression inside the string. That means inside the quotation. So that's why it was not taking it as a regular expression, but as a string. But now I have converted my string into a regular expression. So now it is my regular expression start with slash. I can also specify caret if I want, but I'm going along with the example. So I will use the same example. Dot means any character, and star means zero or many. Then fly. So that means these butter is any character. Uh, uh, Zero or many. So it has added a random string, but it should look for the fly as the end of that string, right? So similarly, this was fly. Then uh, what else example was used? Dragonfly or butterfly. Okay. Let us check with another. Okay, this was successful. Now I will add a character of, I will add a suffix after fly. Let us check that. Dragonfly man. It returned error. Why? Because here the end of the string is dollar. So that means it is not considering anything after this. But if I'll remove this and put a star here uh, and run my server again, it returned the value. It detected that particular um, string, right? So as I specified, if I'll put any string after the fly, it is not considering because dollar means end of the path, right? Now, similarly, you can use any regular expression to specify your path based on the requirement, right? Now, let us check with the root parameter. So, root path should be users. Okay, if I want to insert any value, it is similar to this. Let us check the syntax. This particular template means this is user ID is a variable and book ID is a variable because it is prefixed with colon. So colon means Express.js was expecting a value instead of this. The colon means this user ID was converted into an argument variable, and it was expecting a value instead of that in place of that particular uh, path, right? So if we are going to use similar kind of thing, let us check. Copy. Then box PID. This was the string, right? Now I will print user box. Let us check this. I'm considering this UID as a variable, so I have used UID. Let us see what happens. All right. Users 30. All right. Now books 12. Okay, it returned me an error. Why? Because UID is not defined. So that means it came to this particular point but it has not, um, it didn't find the UID, so it returned me an error. So we will see how to find out the variable. Let us try to find out if it works correctly. I will run the function again. The function again. So it returned user and book, right? So that means it has detected this particular path, right? I have used 30 in place of UID and 12 in place of BID, right? Now we are going, so it has detected the path, but how we are going to get this 30 and 12? Let us check that. Okay, so we are going to let us print this request parameter and check what we are getting here. Request params, right? It should return in the form of JSON, right? Let us try this. Okay, return. It has returned nothing. Why? That means I'm doing something wrong. Let us expand it as a function so that we can console.log. Now see, the parameter that I have entered here got in the form of this JSON, right? UID and BID. Now, if I want to print, I know that this particular request.param holds it in the form of JSON. So I can also print it along in this particular string also, right? So how I can do that? Let us check that. So to access this request parameter, I need to define this dot UID, right? Now again, dot BID, right? So let us print this again. Okay. Now you see, since these parameters are, I have shown the example where I try to access these variables directly, but UID was not accessible directly. Now, after that, what I did was request params. So request params printed those variable in the form of JSON. So that means whatever string we are using to define the path, which is followed by colon, those strings was considered as a variable name. So those variable name would be considered as a property name for the object that uh, um, that is considered as a parameter of the request, right? So all those variables stored as a parameters, and parameters can be accessible by request dot params, this particular command, or this particular a string where a rec means request is a argument is holding a params as a property. So params is holding an object is having all those variables that we have declared in the path in the form of property. And whatever the value that is being passed along with the request, those values will be mapped directly to the property. And uh, after that, we can access those property by using rec.params dot the property name. So request dot params dot property name. By that we can access uh, mm, those variables. So I mean, this is a typical REST format. You might have seen blogs, or blogger spot, or any number of blogs. Usually in blogging, um, whenever you post the blog, that date is that that particular date becomes the part of the URL of those blogs. Like if you have posted something on say today, and today we have a date 10th of July 2019. So the path would become something like this, like 2019. Uh, it's July, so 7, then 10th, then maybe your article name, right? So by this path, um, actually, what server do, server segregate this path, and they get the required parameters to search for those that particular article name, so that it can be displayed. Now if you see this particular path, it is quite uh, clean, right? Now if you will not use this particular path, then what you have to do, um, then you need to do something like this, which is a old format. You need to use query string with date equal to this, and uh, or title equal to this, something like this, right? So what is more readable? Which URL is, you find it more readable? This one or this one? I mean, of course, this one is more readable because it is clean and intuitive, right? So anybody could find out that, okay, this particular URL means here is a date. So this article might have been posted on this particular date, and after that article name. So It is quite intuitive. But this one is little bit complex if people are not get used to of the syntax of parameter defining, then it looks, I mean, difficult to read out for layman users, right? So that's why REST protocol was made to make it more um, clean and compact. Now, proceeding forward, so we have seen um, how to define the variable here. Now you can play around with hyphen and dot um, that can be interpreted differently. Like here is an example where they have defined from variable and separated by hyphen, then two variables. So they have defined two variable, and earlier we used to separate it by slash, but here they have separated by hyphen, right? But still, when they try to access the URL in this format, um, the parameter separated it out in the JSON, right? As lax and SFO. Uh, Now here they have separated, here is an example where they have separated these two variables with dot, right? So they have used this particular path and separated two variables, two values with dot, and those values got separated here. Now here is another example where they have used regular expression with variable declaration, right? So here they have declared user ID, right? And right after that they have declared slash d plus. So d means digits. Um, D means digit, one digit in regular expression. Slash D means one digit, and plus means one or many. So that means here they are expecting one or many digit um, uh, in place of user ID. So basically, this is like a validation, data validation. So we have put a data validation here that in place of user ID, please input only numbers, because digit with one or many means a number only, right? So it is expecting a number in place of user ID. So if we pass it like user slash 42, so it will be returned. But if we will pass anything um, other than the number, then it will return an error, right? Now root handlers. So we have already studied that. These are the complex examples that you can use with a multiple callback, right? Here we have defined more than 3 callbacks for this. So basically, array of callback functions can handle a root. So that means here you will see next, 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 right? So first, it will when the control will get this path, then it will go to CB0, this particular method, right? So it will process it, then it will go, it will call next. Here is an extra parameter next. So it will go, it will call that next method. Next method will jump it to CB1. CB1 inside CB1 we again have next. So next calling next method will again call the next method, which is CB2. CB2 is not having any next, so it will um, remain here only. It will print hello from C, right? So there are many kind of processing that you can do here. Now uh, the response could be in any of these format, right? You can pass your response as a JSON or JSONP, redirect, render, send, whatever would be the response format you want. You can use these response format which is provided, right? Now this is a typical example where we have used uh, get, post, and put um, for books. So basically get means fetch book, then post means add book or insert a book in database, then put means update the book. So this way you can define your function. Here they have defined the chaining, right? So you can define your route or method as a method chain, handler chaining or method chaining, right? Uh, this was the end of working with or configuring route. Okay, so next session is quite small, so I will cover it here, or let me see if we can cover. Okay, there are a couple of topics here. Let us. Um, okay, here in the next session, serving static resources. So here we are going to study about serving static files, working with middleware, and WebSocket creation, right? So here serving a static file. This is similar to Node.js. So I mean Express.js. So we will study it here. Now when you want to serve your file as a css javascript file or any images, then you can do like express.static. So instead of using get, post, or delete, you can use static. So this is the syntax where you can use static, then root, then options, right? So root argument specifies the root directory from which to serve static assets. And for more information on option argument, you can see express.static. Now here we have used app.use. So and inside that we have used express.static public. So basically, what does that mean? It is looking inside the public directory, inside the folder that I have specified, where I have specified the my app.js. There, it will look for the public folder, and inside that folder, whatever file would be present, that will be served, right? So if the public folder will have images folder, css folder, js, or images or anything, these folders, and inside that there would be any images, css, js file. So it will look inside too. So it will look the folder public folder and its subdirectory, and any file if we will put the correct path, then we can access those files directly, right? So Express looks up the files relative to the static directory. So the name of the static directory is not part of the URL. So because this public uh, string was the folder name, which is present right in the neighborhood of myapp.js. So that's why it is not considering this path, but it will look inside that folder, right? So similarly, you can use public files or any particular folder name, but to the end user, uh, I mean, this is we use this strategy to separate our actual folder hierarchy and hide that folder hierarchy with the end users. So in the actual hierarchy, it would be public, then under that images or anything, any file. But to the end user, it would be like domain name, then images, and inside that whatever the file name, right? So Express looks up the files in order in which you set the static directories. So first it will look into the public, then it will look into the files with the Express static middleware function. But note, for the best result, use reverse proxy cache to improve the performance of serving static assets. Right now, virtual path prefix. To create a virtual path prefix, um, uh, you can specify the root path like we have specified for our web services. Similarly, you can specify static. So static will be equivalent to public. So if I will look for any file and if I will request any path with a static, then it will directly look inside the public folder, right? So this is the virtual path. So as you can see here, the actual path could be public images or kitten.jpg, but since it is the URL, so the related path will become static images kitten.jpg, right? So this way you can create the server. And now, however, the path that you provided to express.static function is relative to the directory from where you launch your node process. So directory from where we have launched is myapp.js, right? Uh, so it will look inside that particular folder only. If you run the Express app from any other directory, it's safer to use the absolute path of the directory that you want to serve. So here what does this particular statement do? It is a path.join. If I will put just public, so it will look relative to the myapp.js file. If I will put path.join directory name, so uh, it will look for the absolute path. It will convert the public to the absolute path. That means the whole from root to that up to that public file or public repository. It will create that path and embed that path. So from wherever you want to launch this app, it won't get any problem because it will know the absolute path of that public repository, right? So for more detail, you can see serve static. Serve static is a node module that you can use to serve static files right away. You can use this command. So this was the end of the static file. I took up this particular module from the next session because it was related to Express.js, so it would be easier to um, easier to remember what we have studied, right? So rest of the things we will study it later. So any question? Okay, no question. So I will end this session right here. We will meet again tomorrow at the same time, right? Thank you. And